The Perks of Being a Wallflower, June 2nd, 1992. Dear friend, did you have a senior prank? I'm guessing you probably did because my sister said it's a tradition at a lot of schools. This year, the prank was as follows. Some seniors filled the swimming pool with about 6,000 packages of grape Kool-Aid. I have no idea who thinks of these things or why, except that the senior prank is supposed to signify the end of school. What this has to do with the great pool is beyond me, but I was very happy not to have gym. It's actually been a very exciting time because we've all been busy finishing up the year. This Friday is the last day of school for all of my friends and my sister. They've been talking about their prom nonstop. Even the people that think it's a joke, like Mary Elizabeth, can't stop talking about what a joke it is. It's all very fun to witness. So, by this time, everyone has finally figured out which schools he or she is going to next year. Patrick is going to the University of Washington because he wants to be near the music there. He says he thinks he wants to work for a record company someday. Maybe be a publicist or a person who finds new bands. Sam finally made her decision to leave early for the summer program at the college of her choice. I love that expression, college of my choice. Safety school is another favorite. The thing was that Sam got into two schools, the college of her choice and a safety school. She could have started at the safety school in the fall, but in order to go to the college of her choice, she had to do this special summer program, just like my brother. That's right, the school is Penn State, which is so great because now I can visit my brother and Sam with one trip. I don't want to think about Sam leaving just yet, but I did wonder what would happen if she and my brother ever started dating, which is stupid because they are nothing alike, and Sam is in love with Craig. I have to stop doing this. My sister is going to a small liberal arts college back east called Sarah Lawrence. She almost didn't get to go because it cost a lot of money, but then she got an academic scholarship through the Rotary Club or Muse Lodge or something like that, which I thought was very generous of them. My sister is going to be second in her class. I thought she might have been valedictorian, but she got a B when she was going through that tough time with her old boyfriend. Mary Elizabeth is going to Berkeley, and Alice is going to study movies in New York City. I never even knew she liked movies, but I guess she does. She calls them films. Incidentally, I finished The Fountainhead. It was a really great experience. It's strange to describe reading a book as a really great experience, but that's kind of how it felt. It was a different book from the others because it wasn't about being a kid, and it wasn't like The Stranger or Naked Lunch, even though I think it was philosophical in a way. But it wasn't like you had to really search for the philosophy. It was pretty straightforward, I thought, and the great part is that I took what the author wrote about and put it in terms of my life. Maybe that's what being a filter means. I'm not sure. There was this one part where the main character, who was this architect, is sitting on a boat with his best friend, who was a newspaper tycoon. And the newspaper tycoon says that the architect is a very cold man. The architect replies that if the boat were sinking and there was only room in the lifeboat for one person, he would gladly give up his life for the newspaper tycoon. And then he says something like, I will die for you, but I won't live for you. Something like that. I think the idea is that every person has to live for his or her own life and then make the choice to share it with other people. Maybe that is what makes people participate. I'm not really certain because I don't know if I will mind living for Sam for a while. Then again, she wouldn't want me to, so maybe it's a lot friendlier than all that. I hope so anyway. I told my psychiatrist about the book and Bill and about Sam and Patrick and all their colleges, but he just keeps asking me questions about when I was younger. The thing is, I feel that I'm just repeating the same memories to him. I don't know. He says it's important. I guess we'll have to see. I would write a little more today, but I have to learn my math formulas for the final on Thursday. Wish me luck. Love always, Charlie. June 5th, 1992. Dear friend, I wanted to tell you about us running. There was this beautiful sunset, and there was this hill. The hill up to the 18th green where Patrick and I spit wine from laughing. And just a few hours before, Sam and Patrick and everyone I love and know had their last day of high school ever. And I was happy because they were happy. My sister even let me hug her in the hallway. Congratulations was the word of the day. So, Sam and Patrick and I went to the big boy and smoked cigarettes. And then we went walking, waiting for it to be time to go to the Rocky Horror. And we were talking about things that seemed important at the time. And we were looking up that hill. And then Patrick started running after the sunset. And Sam immediately followed him. And I saw them in silhouette running after the sun. And then I started running. And everything was as good as it could be. That night, Patrick decided to play Frankfurter one last time. He was so happy to put on the costume, and everyone was happy he decided to do it. It was quite moving, actually. He gave the best show I ever saw him give. Maybe I was biased, but I don't care. It was the show I'll always remember. Even his last song. The song is called I'm Going Home. In the movie, Tim Curry, who plays the character, cries during that song, but Patrick was smiling, and it felt just right. I even persuaded my sister to come to the show with her boyfriend. I have been trying to get her to come since I started going, but she never would. But this time she did, and since she and her boyfriend never saw the show before, they were technically virgins, which meant they would have to do all these embarrassing things before the show started to get initiated. I decided not to tell my sister this, and she and her boyfriend had to go on the stage and try to dance the time warp. Whoever lost the dance contest had to pretend he or she was having sex with the large stuffed Gumby doll. So I quickly showed my sister and her boyfriend how to dance the time warp so they wouldn't lose the contest. It was fun watching my sister dance the time warp on stage, but I don't think I could have handled her pretending to have sex with a large stuffed Gumby. I asked my sister if she wanted to come to Craig's for the party afterward, but she said that one of her friends was having a party, so she was going to that. That was okay with me because at least she came to the show. And before she left, she hugged me again. 2 in one day. I really do love my sister, especially when she's nice. The party at Craig's was great. Craig and Peter bought champagne to congratulate all the people who were graduating, and we danced and we talked, and I saw Mary Elizabeth kissing Peter and looking happy, and I saw Sam kissing Craig and looking happy, and I saw Patrick and Alice not even care that they weren't kissing anybody because they were too excited talking about their futures. So I just sat there with a bottle of champagne near the CD player, and I changed the songs to fit the mood of what I saw. I was lucky too, because Craig has an excellent collection. When people looked a little tired, I played something fun. When they looked like they wanted to talk, I played something soft. It was a great way to sit alone at a party and still feel part of things. After the party, everyone thanked me because they said it was the perfect music. Craig said that I should be a DJ to make money while I was still in school, just like he does modeling. I thought that was a good idea. Maybe I could save up a lot of money so I would be able to go to college even if something like the Rotary Club or Moose Lodge didn't come through. My brother said recently on the phone that if he makes it to the pros, I don't have to worry about my college money at all. He said he'd take care of it. I can't wait to see my brother. He's coming home for my sister's graduation, which is so nice. Love always, Charlie. June 9th, 1992. Dear friend, it is now prom night, and I'm sitting in my room. Yesterday was difficult because I didn't know anybody since all my friends and my sister were no longer in school. The worst was lunchtime because it reminded me of when everyone was angry with me for Mary Elizabeth. I couldn't even eat my sandwich, and my mom made my favorite because I think she knew how sad I would be with everyone gone. The hall seemed different, and the juniors were acting different because they are now the seniors. They even had t-shirts made. I don't know who plans these things. All I can think about is the fact that Sam is leaving in 2 weeks to go to Penn State, and Mary Elizabeth is going to be busy with her guy, and my sister is going to be busy with hers, and Alice and I aren't that close. I know Patrick will be around, but I'm afraid that maybe since he isn't sad, he won't want to spend time with me. I know that's wrong in my head, but it feels that way sometimes. So then the only person I would have to talk to would be my psychiatrist. And I don't like the idea of that right now because he keeps asking me questions about when I was younger, and they're starting to get weird. I'm just lucky that I have so much schoolwork and don't have a lot of time to think. All I hope is that tonight is great for the people whom it's supposed to be great for. My sister's boyfriend showed up in his Buick, and he was wearing a white tails coat over a black suit, which looked wrong for some reason. His cummerbund, I don't know how to spell this, matched my sister's dress, which was powder blue and low cut. It reminded me of those magazines. I have to stop spinning out like this. Okay. All I hope is that my sister feels beautiful and her new guy makes her feel beautiful. I hope that Craig doesn't make Sam feel that her prom isn't special just because he's older. I hope the same for Mary Elizabeth with Peter. I hope Brad and Patrick decide to make up and dance in front of the whole school, and that Alice is secretly a lesbian and in love with Brad's girlfriend, Nancy, and vice versa, so nobody feels left out. I hope the DJ is as good as everyone said I was last Friday. And I hope everyone's pictures turn out great and never become old photographs and nobody gets in a car accident. That is what I really hope. Love always, Charlie.